You've heard the saying, you can't escape what you can't see. Well, when it comes to your finances, it's true. If you're trapped in a cycle of debt, living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressing over bills, then you're in financial slavery and it's time to break free. But how can you escape a prison you don't even recognize? In today's world, many of us are unknowingly living in a financial Egypt. The banks, the culture of excessive spending, and the pressures to keep up with a lifestyle you can't afford are all modern-day pharaohs that keep us chained. We're told that this is normal, that debt is just part of life. But let me ask you, is that the life you really want? A life ruled by constant worry and a paycheck that never seems to stretch far enough? The good news? It doesn't have to stay this way. The first step toward financial freedom is recognizing your Egypt. It's about breaking free from limiting beliefs, challenging your spending habits, and starting to take responsibility for your financial future. In this guide, you'll learn how to identify the signs of financial slavery and take the first steps to liberate yourself. Ready to start your exodus? Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle chasing money just to watch it vanish before the month is over? Living in debt isn't just about owing money. It's a silent prison that wears down your mind, your dreams, and your confidence. Financial slavery doesn't start with a maxed-out credit card. It begins with small compromises that slowly trap you in what I call your financial Egypt. We get used to living paycheck to paycheck. We normalize the stress and sometimes even wear it like a badge of honor. I hustle hard. But what if that mindset is actually part of the trap? The problem isn't just the debt, it's everything that comes with it: excessive spending, a lifestyle we can't afford, and dependency on systems that act like modern-day pharaohs. And the scary part? We serve these masters without even realizing we're enslaved. This video is your wake-up call. We're going to uncover where your Egypt is, what's keeping you chained, and more importantly, how to start breaking free. If you're tired of living in the red and watching your finances spiral out of control, this could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Ready to begin your journey to freedom? Living in debt slavery today isn't always about huge loans or bankruptcy. When every decision, what to eat, where to go, even whether to answer the phone is shaped by money stress, you're not just broke. You're trapped in a system that owns your time, your peace, and your choices. This financial trap often starts small. A little overspending here, adjust this once there. Before you know it, you're deep in the cycle of consumption and repayment, caught in a lifestyle you can't afford but feel forced to maintain. It's like living under a modern pharaoh: the banks, the bills, the need to keep up. And the scary part? This slavery wears a mask of normalcy. It feels like everyone's living this way, so we stop questioning it. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's right. The weight of financial stress can crush dreams, strain relationships, and even affect your health. When your life is dictated by debt, you're not in control, you're surviving, not thriving. And the longer you stay in that mindset, the harder it feels to imagine a way out. But that first step begins by recognizing this isn't freedom, and you deserve better. It's wild how we can get used to being stuck. Financial imprisonment becomes the new normal when we live in survival mode for too long. You start convincing yourself that debt is just part of adult life, like rent, taxes, or traffic. The weight of financial stress gets so familiar that we stop noticing it. It becomes background noise until the next overdraft or collection call snaps you back into reality. The truth is, humans adapt even to pain. We start lowering our expectations and adjusting our dreams to fit our bank balance. That trip you wanted? Too expensive. Starting that business? Not now. Bit by bit, we shrink our lives to fit a financial cage. And society doesn't help. Credit cards are handed out like candy, and no one teaches us how to manage money in school. So we just cope. The scariest part? Over time, we stop believing that freedom is even possible. We think, "You'll always be in debt," or "people like me don't Get ahead. That's how the mental chains get locked in place. It's not just the numbers in your bank account, it's the beliefs in your head. Breaking free starts with realizing that this prison isn't permanent. You're not stuck, you've just been taught to stay. Every financial Egypt has its Pharaoh, the force that keeps you working hard but never truly getting ahead. Sometimes that Pharaoh wears a suit and sends you bank statements. Other times it's your own lifestyle choices, like the constant urge to upgrade your phone, car, or wardrobe just to feel like you're keeping up. The modern Pharaoh doesn't crack a whip, it hands you a credit card with a smile and a 25% interest rate. Let's be real, banks aren't just helping you, they're profiting off your financial struggles. That buy now, pay later deal, it's a trap wrapped in convenience. But it's not just the banks. The real Pharaoh could be your need for validation through expensive things, or the fear of missing out that leads to impulsive spending. It's the voice in your head saying, "I deserve this," even when you can't afford it. To fight a Pharaoh, you first have to name it. What are you serving? A brand? A lifestyle? Approval from others? Once you spot what's running your financial life, you can start taking back control. And no, this isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Because the sooner you recognize who or what is calling the shots, the sooner you can fire them. The deepest form of debt slavery isn't in your wallet, it's in your mind. The beliefs you carry about money can chain you far more effectively than any interest rate. Things like, "I'm just bad with money," or "debt is just part of life," may sound harmless, but they shape every financial choice you make. If your mindset is stuck in limitation, your bank account will follow. These beliefs often come from childhood, culture, or past mistakes. Maybe you grew up watching your parents struggle, or you failed so many times financially that now you believe you'll never get it right. This is what I call the slave mentality, not because you're weak, but because you've been conditioned to think small, stay stuck, and expect the worst. That mindset is the real prison. To break free, you've got to rewrite those internal scripts. Start questioning your money thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never be debt-free," flip it. "Would I do it if I could?" Even small shifts in your self-talk can lead to big changes in your behavior. You don't have to believe every thought that pops into your head, especially the ones keeping you broke. You might not see chains around your ankles, but there are clear signs when you're stuck in your financial Egypt. One red flag is when all your money disappears as soon as it hits your account. You are working hard, yet constantly broke. If you dread checking your bank balance or avoid opening bills, that's not just stress, it's a warning signal that your financial life is out of control. Another sign? You're living for the next paycheck. You can't save, you can't plan, and everything feels urgent. Emergencies become disasters, and small expenses throw your whole month off. If the idea of losing your job sends you into a full-blown panic because there's no safety net, that's not freedom. That's financial slavery, plain and simple. And let's talk about emotions: guilt, shame, denial. If money talk makes you anxious or defensive, something deeper is going on. Avoiding the problem doesn't make it go away, it makes it grow. But here's the good news: recognizing these signs is the first step toward your exodus. You can't leave Egypt if you don't know you're in it. Every journey to financial freedom begins with one raw, honest moment, the cry for help. It's when you stop pretending everything's fine and admit, "I can't keep living like this." That moment isn't weakness, it's courage. Until you reach that point, change stays optional. But once you feel the weight of your financial slavery and say it out loud, things start to shift. This cry isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's a quiet conversation with yourself at 2 a.m. after realizing your credit card is maxed out again. Or it's that voice whispering, "There has to be more than this." Whatever form it takes, it's powerful because it breaks denial. Denial is Egypt's favorite weapon. But honesty, that's the beginning of your escape plan. When you cry out, you create space for something new, a new mindset, new habits, new hope. It's like opening the first window in a dark room. Sure, the light might hurt at first, but it also shows you the way out. The cry doesn't solve everything overnight. But without it, you stay stuck in silence, stuck in shame, stuck in cycles. The cry is your first real step toward freedom. Freedom begins with clarity. You can't escape from something you haven't defined. That's why the first practical step is to map your debts, all of them. Write down who you owe, how much, the interest rate, and the minimum payments. Seeing everything in black and white can be uncomfortable, but it's better than letting fear and confusion run the show. Think of it like getting a financial X-ray. You might discover your situation isn't as hopeless as it feels, or you'll finally understand why you've been drowning. Either way, you're trading anxiety for awareness, and awareness gives you power. Tools like spreadsheets, budgeting apps, or even a simple notebook can help you get organized and stay focused on progress. Once you've mapped it all out, you can start building your strategy. Maybe you'll choose the snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first to build momentum. Or maybe you'll attack the ones with the highest interest. Whatever the plan, it has to start with a clear diagnosis. You can't heal your financial life if you don't know where it's broken. Now that you've mapped your debts, it's time to walk step by step toward freedom. But don't rush. Start with awareness. Track every cent you earn and spend for the next 30 days. Yes, every coffee, every online impulse buy. This isn't about punishment, it's about waking up. You can't steer your finances if you're driving blindfolded. Responsibility comes next, not in a heavy, guilt-ridden way, but as ownership. Your money problems might not be your fault, but your freedom? That's your job. It's easy to blame the economy, your job, or past mistakes, but taking control means saying, "I'm not waiting on rescue. I'm rescuing me." That mindset shift is the foundation of lasting change. Start simple. Set a small financial goal, a mini emergency fund, cutting one recurring expense, or cooking more meals at home. Celebrate tiny wins. Progress isn't about perfection, it's about direction. You're not just getting out of debt. You're becoming someone who leads their life with intention. This is your first chapter, not your last. It's time to stop waiting for a miracle and start creating your own. The path to financial freedom starts with awareness, responsibility, and small, consistent steps. Look at your situation for what it is, but don't let it define who you are. You are not a prisoner of your debts. You are someone who can choose a better future, step by step. What's the first action you can take today to start changing your financial story? Maybe it's mapping your debts, challenging your beliefs about money, or setting a new financial goal. The journey won't be easy, but the rewards are worth it. Freedom, peace of mind, and a life lived on your terms. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next step in your journey to financial freedom. Let's get out of Egypt together.